Now, a lot has been written about our former colleague Adam Boland, but last night on Australian Story, it was his turn to set the record straight. In a rare case of television turning the cameras on itself, Adam opened up about his battles with bipolar, offering a frank account of the recent mental breakdown, which prompted his decision to walk away from television for good.
There is a stigma. As many as half of all Australians concede that they would avoid people with mental illness. The media, I think, has a duty to help smash that. Mental illness is as valid as any other illness. 44 people take their lives every week in Australia. Why isn't that leading news bulletins every single night? And then you feel the sense of, you want to do more. You know, I don't want to tell diet stories, you know. I want to use a platform to help people. Sorry.
So courageous. Anyone knows, and Jess, you're, personal advocate for this issue when it comes to mental illness. It's difficult to speak up because the stigma and the judgment is always there. Forget that Adam is one of our colleagues. For him, in the position of power that he was in, to come out and express his personal wrenching journey took such courage. It was very, very brave.
Well, I adore Adam Boland. I take my hat off to him. I think it takes incredible bravery and courage to do what he did. Bipolar is an awful illness. My mum has bipolar, so I really understand the highs and the lows, and also how heartbreaking it can be. But for Adam, he is such a creative genius as well. He has done so much for television in this country. He has nurtured so many people, so much talent, and he's a risk taker. And that's what I love about Adam. He's always willing to give something different a go.
But people are so frightened of mental illness. And, Adam talked about how he took some medication and then jumped off it because he felt blunted. The problem is for those that don't understand the range of mental illness, whether it be bipolar, obsessive compulsive, whatever it may be, it's the lack of education, again, Joe, about some of the fundamentals in terms of
I think it's hard to understand the highs and the lows that people with bipolar experience. And then, Adam touched on that last night. He said, I think he said when he was in the high thing, he was so creative, so active, so busy doing things, driven, I think. I was thinking driven. But it's hard if you don't have this illness, I've never suffered from it, to appreciate the extremes of it.
The peaks and troughs are extreme and they are dramatic. And if you're not completely open and honest with those you're working closest to, I mean, it is difficult to have to navigate around this behavioural kind of roller coaster.
But I think too, for a lot of people though, they hide it, and I think where are the public figures with mental health sort of issues? Not many people kind of stand up and talk about it.
There are a lot of people who have come out. Jeff Gallop, the former Premier of WA, has obviously come out. Jeff Kennett, the former Premier of Victoria, of course, headed up Beyond Blue. Adam Boland has come out. I don't think a lack of awareness is the problem. I think we're talking about it more than we ever have. We talk about it on this show all the time. I think the problem, and I think the problem. No, I think there's understanding there. I think the problem
I don't think there is
I think the problem
Joe.
is that when you have a statistic like 1 in 2 people, apparently, I don't know where that's come from, say that they would avoid someone with mental illness. Perhaps that is.
No, these figures are correct because we have these similar figures at Alzheimer's Australia, and again we're talking about something to do with the mind and mental. And it is true. People would go. Our research shows us people will go out of their way to avoid people.
And the reason for this is simple. If mental illness was easy, it wouldn't be a problem. The reason it is a problem is because it's very hard to deal with people who are in the throes of a mental illness.
And it's an incredibly broad term. There's such a huge variety.
I had OCD. I had 10 years of OCD as a young woman. And an anxiety neurosis, and I'm over that now. Therapy is the way to go. Go talk to people. There is help. You can recover.
Yes.
And I shouldn't beat you up. It was
Jane.
Reference to an education point from a couple of segments ago. But it is increasing the awareness and that empathy that we can all improve.
I think
And
mental
standing up too, like what
illness is
Jane's
just
saying.
such a huge
It
category.
happens
Not
to
all
us.
mental illnesses are the same. There's
It
obviously a
is.
huge variety, and there's plenty of people who you
I
wouldn't
reckon
even
most
know.
people are a bit cracked. Yeah,
that's
me.
Well, I put this postcard
just
at
call it
home
everybody.
that says the only normal people you know are the ones that you don't actually know very well.
That's right. Yeah.
What is normal?
Good point. Now, we should stress there's always help available. Lifeline is there 24 hours a day on this number, 13 11 14. Big hugs to Adam and anyone else who's struggling at the moment.